Welcome to the Compass e-learning series. This session will give you an overview of the functions and navigation of Budget Compass. When you open Budget Compass, you will immediately see a plan selection box. The plan selection box lets you choose among those plans or browse for others. The last plan that you used will already be highlighted, so often when you open Compass, you can just click the Open button and that will load the plan that you want to work with. If you ever have a computer problem, Compass will advise you that a temporary file exists, and it'll give you the opportunity to either open that temporary file so you don't lose any work, or if you want, you can start over the session from the file that was saved from your previous session. The opening screen of Compass shows a high-level summary of actual versus plan results for the current year. Actual consists of the history for the months that have happened in the current year, plus projections for the remaining months. Your plan is your approved budget. You can always see the path or location of the current plan files in the lower left-hand corner of your Compass screen. Now, the easiest way to start working is to use the navigation toolbar. It's right below the main menu bar at the top of the screen. While the main menu bar offers a more comprehensive list of functions than the navigational toolbar, the common functions are all available in the navigational toolbar, and the icons make it really easy to recall the specific area that you want to use. Let's just start with the first function in updating data. Most banks do that every month. Both the navigational toolbar and the main menu bar appear in the usual order of the monthly update process, so you can complete the routine process by moving through some of the icons on the navigational toolbar from left to right. Now, since we've already loaded plan files when we open Budget Compass, we can skip the first three buttons. The next button looks like a bridge. We call it Data Bridge. It transfers the data from your bank's general ledger system into Budget Compass. Once you've finished the download section, click the button that looks like a magnifying glass with a dollar sign. This will allow you to verify that your data balances tie out to your numbers, and it allows you to make any manual adjustments that you might need. For example, many banks will need to enter the amount of current earning. The next button shows a graph. This gives you access to a table for market rates of interest. In Budget Compass, these are often not needed because you work with projected yields and costs and individual accounts and categories. The next function of Budget Compass that we talked about at first is planning and budgeting. This function is performed by selecting projections. You can use the button whenever you want to change your projections or forecast. Most Budget Compass clients really concentrate on that around budget time each year. Some clients do review the projections monthly to produce rolling forecasts or what-ifs. Remember that nothing you do in the projections area will change your bank's budget, past or downloaded results. You can click on any account or category name to make projection changes. For example, when I click on MBS, or mortgage-backed securities, Compass displays what we call the decision screen. The gray areas on the screen show monthly history, and the white areas show projection. You can scroll up to see up to 5 years of history, and you can scroll down to see up to 5 years of projections. Columns show end-of-month and average balances, and if the account's interest-bearing, you can also see the yield and the monthly interest. You can edit the projections right on this screen anytime you want, but history can only be modified through the update functions that we looked at earlier. Now, there's a separate tab at the top of the screen called Budget. This allows you to view details that were stored when your budget was last approved. That way, your projection changes will not wipe out your approved budget numbers. The next tab, called Variance, lets you compare both current year actual and projected results to your approved budget. The Fed Funds tab is updated instantly as you make changes in your projections so that you can see the impact on your net liquidity. And the Notes tab lets you document your changes. It includes a button to add the date and time if you wish. Finally, at the bottom of the screen, you can see before and after results of either balance, income, or yield. Well, let's move on to the third function of Budget Compass, reporting. Before generating reports, it's important to compute the plan so that all changes are updated. The Compute button looks like a calculator Speaking of reports, and that's the next active button on the navigational bar. The Reports button looks like a printed page, and it gives you access to all of the reports available in Compass, including financial reports, variance reports, assumption reports, and just about anything you could need. You activate a report by clicking on its name. The report will appear in the Report Viewer area of your screen, and a printer button will be added to the navigational toolbar. The small button with the down arrow next to the Print button adds options like Preview, Export to Excel, or Default Printer Change. If you want to modify the report, right-click its name. Selecting Properties allows lots of options like level of detail, the time period covered, and other choices specific to the type of report that you selected. That covers the basic functions. Let's take a quick look at some of the other things you may want to do in Compass. The next two icons allow you to create custom reports and custom ratios. After that, there's a button with an organization chart. If your bank has the strategic business unit or branch level system or consolidation, then this button will be active and will allow you to navigate to individual business units. Next to that, there's a button with an ED on it. That gives you access to the Executive Dashboard, a web-based reporting tool that you can update in just a couple of minutes. And if you'd like to know more about it, give us a call. There's a button with a GPS. Banker's GPS is another internet tool that you can use for interest rate risk, peer comparisons, liquidity management, and loan stress testing. Finally, there's the CECL button. This connects you to the BankTrends CECL application on the web. Okay, I'm not going to forget about the buttons I skipped. The very first button on the navigational toolbar, the small Budget Compass logo. It just takes you back to that home screen where we started, where you can see the current year's results. The next button has a yellow folder on it. That lets you open a different Compass plan. Now, this is handy if you've got several different versions of your budget or what-ifs, or you want to go back and look at a plan from another time. When you click the folder button, Compass will prompt you to save changes in the plan you're working on right now, and you can choose yes or no, and then the browse box will let you search for a plan anywhere on your computer or computer network. You can also open a new plan by navigating to the File drop-down menu and choosing the Open option. Now, the next button looks like a floppy disk. It lets you save your plan data anytime during a session. Compass will remind you to save your data when you exit the system, and you normally will be able to recover your work in the event of a loss of power, but it never hurts to save your data from time to time as you're working. You can also use the Save option under the File drop-down menu. Well, that covers all the buttons, but there are a few things that appear in the main menu that you may want to use. If you ever want to create an additional version of your plan, then choose Save As from the File drop-down. If you need to change income tax rates or other tax-related items, choose Tax Information from the Projections drop-down. The Utilities drop-down includes lots of setup choices, as well as the Executive Dashboard Update and Performance Indicator Editing area. Utilities also include two things that are usually just done once a year: locking the budget and the year-end shift. Now, Plansmith will normally send out an email reminder about these items at the appropriate time in the year, but you can always call us for help. Now, speaking of help, the last menu item is Help, and that gives you access to the complete Compass manual right online, where you can print it out if you want to. It also gives you details of recent program changes and lots of other information. You can even find our contact information in the About section. So in today's session, we've illustrated how Budget Compass menu choices get you quickly to what you need to do, whether it's updating actual results, building a budget, or generating reports. Thank you for taking advantage of our e-learning series, and don't ever hesitate to contact us or view the additional information and tutorials that are available through the links and phone numbers shown.